Let's get into injuries with all of that. Injuries were tracking on Saturday. Keenan Allen's out again with the heel injury. Yeah. As expected, no Jamar Chase with the shoulder. I think the key thing to keep in mind with Chase is how long this goes on. Kenny Pickett with his ankle injury, he's been ruled out. James Cook will be active. He was battling an illness. He came back to practice yesterday. Don't forget he drank Emergen-C for free yesterday. So looking good on the James Cook front over here, guys. We'll get to Sunday in just a moment, but anything that really stands out to you here, Barry, I feel like we were expecting at least Chase and Pickett. Keenan Allen, he just hasn't practiced with this heel injury, and I don't think they're going to push him at what's become of their season.
No, I was just while you were reading all those, I was just checking the Fantasy Life app, getting some alerts here. C.J. Stroud not practicing again today, so he's not going to play. It is going to be Case Keenum once again under center for the Texans. However, Devon Achane is expected to play. That just came through as well. The one that I think that sort of jumps out here, there's a couple here that jump out. First off, Trevor Lawrence. He has not officially cleared the concussion protocol.
Let's take a look at Sunday's injuries.
Yeah, as we go to Sunday. Sorry, there's nothing from yesterday that
we were expecting all of those.
Yeah,
like you said, update on Stroud. He's down today. He's not playing. But get into Lawrence because that's the big one that's up in the air. And Doug Peterson sounded a little more optimistic this morning.
He's going to practice today. He hasn't cleared the protocol yet, but he is going to practice today.
So Doug Peterson's exact words were, "I would say it's better than a coin flip that Lawrence plays." I don't think you say that if Trevor Lawrence isn't going to play. And that's why everyone watching should go to the DraftKings app right now and bet the Jags plus 2.5 because that isn't the line if Lawrence plays.
I'm doing it right now.
It was the
Go
Jags.
ahead, keep talking while I do this.
I think the Jags probably be slight favorites in that game. So that makes no sense to me because even if you think there's only a 75% chance Lawrence plays, that line is still value. So that would be my action based off this Doug Peterson news.
I like that.
For those listening, I'll read off a couple more DMPs for Sunday.
It's still Jaguars plus 2.5 as of right now.
That you need to keep an eye on. Zach Moss, Kenneth Walker. Raheem Mostert is typically rest. Double check this one, but he's usually on the safer side when he doesn't practice. Madison's still not practicing with the ankle. Same with Ramondre Stevenson, Brian Robinson with that hamstring that's lingered through and after the bye week. Jaden Reed and Christian Watson, the Packers wide receivers, they did not practice. Will Levis with the knee.
It's going to be a Dontavian Wicks kind of week.
It really is. Chris Godwin not practicing with the knee injury. Zach Wilson still dealing with the concussion. That'll be a Trevor Siemian game against your Commanders, Matthew. Both our teams want Marvin Harrison Jr. is what that sounds like. To me, Zay Jones not practicing with the hamstring. You said it. Achane, who was back at practice, he will play. He was limited. Same for Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins. Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor for the Colts are full.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting, too. I mean, I feel like you're starting Jonathan Taylor. You know, you're excited to get Michael Pittman back and Jonathan Taylor, especially with Zach Moss not playing. Like, it's not going to be Trey Sermon or whatever. If Jonathan Taylor can play, this is a game that's important to the Colts. I think you see a full workload of Jonathan Taylor right back into the lineup there as well. Good to see Nico Collins back out there. Hopefully he can go. He is practicing today. We'll track that heading in through the weekend. But I think if Nico Collins is active, I think you're starting him, even with Case Keenum, even though he's missed some time. I feel like you're probably, just based on volume there. I get it. They're playing the Cleveland Browns. It's not a great matchup either, but I don't know. I feel it would be tough for me to keep Nico Collins out of my lineup.
Yep. No, I agree there. Just on Pittman and Taylor, just another, while we're talking about lines, the Falcons are nearly 3-point favorites over the Colts now. I don't understand that at all. That makes zero sense to me.
Taylor Heineke, baby.
Taylor Heineke. I know they got Caleb McGarry and David Onyemata practicing yesterday. That's big for the Falcons, but I can't buy that they are 3-point favorites over the Colts in a game that the Colts desperately need. Right. I know the Falcons needed 2, but I think the Colts are the better team, if anything.
I was going to say, I'll tell you, I prefer the Colts money line.
Yeah.
I think the Colts win that game.
Shane Steichen, Arthur Smith. Steichen, by the way, now is the favorite for Coach of the Year as we sit here today.
The real stick man.
Yes.
He is actually the authentic stick man.
I model my game plan after him. That's why we're spamming you with RPOs constantly.
Get the most out of the least.
Really are. Yeah. You are the Gardner Minshew fantasy.
I am. Yeah. I'm chaos. Yeah. Chaos merchant.
Yes. A stinker every once in a while, but just you find a way.
Find a way.
Yeah. Forget about the fumbles in the red zone. We're airing it out deep to Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the injuries we're tracking for Monday to close this out.
When I lose to you, and that's going to happen.
Tuesday's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough.
I won't hold
back.
I might not show up Tuesday. What?
Coming off of Christmas, we're going to be here on Tuesday, and you're going to be a little grumpy.
I'm going to be tortured.
You're going to be a little grumpy.
I'm going to be tortured.
You're going to be in a great mood.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to send voice messages on Christmas morning.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've started sending more voice messages these days.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good content.
All the Terrific.
All right, the injuries we're tracking for Monday. Now, it is very early for these players, so don't lose all hope yet. But if you have Zamir White, you got a chance because Josh Jacobs right now still not practicing with the quad. Michael Mayer not practicing with the toe. Jerick McKinnon, we know it's the return of Isaiah Pacheco, but McKinnon right now with the groin injury is not practicing. Odell Beckham with an illness. That could be the same as James Cook. We'll see if he can push through in the next couple of days. Devontae Smith pops up here, Matthew, with a knee. That's a little scary in the fantasy playoffs. And like I said, Pacheco's going to be back.
Yeah, we're excited to get Pacheco back. Although McKinnon has not practiced yet, so that's sort of interesting. But it would just be more Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Or they use Pacheco in the passing game, so I think that all works out pretty well there. But Devontae Smith, if for some reason he can't go, you would feel pretty good about Dallas Goedert. Obviously, A.J. Brown is going to get his. But, they're home to the Giants this week, and so, that's a game where you should see a lot of DeAndre Swift. They should be able to run pretty heavily against New York. So that's a concern. If Devontae Smith, then that's obviously something to track. It's not until Monday, however.
Yep. From memory, Devontae Smith took a bit of a hit in the Seattle game, was limping for play, but then came back in. So maybe that is the cause. In any case, like these, we have to remember that these practices, they're effectively, because it's a Monday game, those are like Wednesday practices, which aren't as nearly as telling. So perhaps these guys will be fine. We'll learn a lot more with their designations today.
I'll say this, though, going back to like the Sunday list, one that's also sort of Chris Godwin just showing up there. That makes me nervous.
That's a Sunday game.
That's a Sunday game, and we all like Baker Mayfield this week against the Jaguars. But again, if Godwin can't go, again to your point about Jaguars plus 2.5. If Lawrence can go, and Chris Godwin can't, and it's literally it's Mike Evans out there with like Trey Palmer, Cade Otton, I don't know.
Jags are favored in that game if Lawrence plays and Godwin's out.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.